Hey there, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Good morning, crypto friends. How are we doing out there? We are live. It is Sunday, May the 9th. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. And we're going to talk today about a little bit about the Doge reaction on Saturday Night Live. We have a Bitcoin bounce going on, and ADA looking pretty good for today. So today, right now, at this moment, we're looking here at BTC/USD on the chart. Got up there, big rejection area up there, right at just underneath that 60,000 excuse me, mark. Came back down, retested the 50 fib, and I'll get this the news targets updated here for you for in the morning. So thanks for your patience. So looking at support to hold 56,249.71. Resistance going to be 57,768 for Bitcoin. Moving on to Ethereum, ETH, USD. Ethereum came down, bounced off of that 12-day moving average. Very, very nice. So we'll put support down there at the 3710.42, and we'll flip these around here. That's your all-time high up there. So coming back up, you're going to have the wick of that candle there. So we're trying to get 38.62 is your resistance, and looking at the all-time high for Ethereum up at the 3988.49. RSI was overbought, so as you can see now, it's starting to come down, and we should get some more climbing power for the upside potential here. Excuse me. Moving on to BNB USD. Throat hasn't woke up yet, so we're getting rolling here. Let's set these support and resistance for you. You're going to have resistance up at the 658.97. Whoops. Check that. Going to be up there. There we go. 682.75. And support down here on this previous low at the 642.89. As you see, we are hitting the sales target for this setup, so we will be getting out of this one. I usually sell 90% of the trade and leave 10 on the table. And let's get the stop loss up there. We're going to try to maintain those gains. I'm going to put it just underneath my sales target there. So if you're wondering what all this means on the screen, if you're a first-time visitor, there's a link over there in the chat on a short tutorial that you can, it will show you how to mimic this trade setup, and you can trade this or chart these things on your own here in TradingView. TradingView is free. There's a link down there, a referral link, and it costs you absolutely nothing to sign up. And I urge you to do so if you're considering to trade crypto or stocks or futures or anything like that. You can chart all of that here in TradingView. Moving on, commercial is over. ADA, USD, Cardano. As I mentioned in the title card, ADA is hitting its all-time high. And let me just double check to make, because sometimes it doesn't show. Yes. Definitely all-time highs here. We're looking on the weekly. So sitting in blue sky breakout as we speak. 1.876 is the all-time high. Cruising up into the on the RSI into overbought, so just keep that in mind. Typically though, when you are in blue sky breakout, the RSI goes out the window. But you will want to, let's see, do I not have a stop loss going? No, so let's set you a stop loss here on the chart. And we'll just do it real quick. I have a stop template. Basically, it just turns the line red and puts the letter stop on it. You can type all in there yourself. So what I would do is trail this thing. There's no, this previous high is going to become support, or previous resistance was support. So we're going to set a stop there because we want to take advantage of fullest upside as we can get. So there you go. Support down to 1.692 and your all-time high, as I mentioned, 1.876. We'll move on to PolkaDot. And ADA, by the way, up 10.76%. PolkaDot. DOT USD. This particular data is provided by TradingView. So support is 38.2316 and resistance as 40.1796. Let's have a look at the Doge. The Doge. Elon Musk bomb, May Musk mentioned the Doge. It's asking him if he is going to get her some Doge for Mother's Day, and he said absolutely. So as you can see, you should have sold the news as we talked about yesterday, and because there's a massive sell-off as the thing starts to drop. Where do we go down? We'll take a ruler, got it all the way down to, fell off 43%. So massive drop. Did find a bounce. It did get all the way to the 100-day moving average. That would have been a significant bounce indication. But we do have support down here at the 0.4199. And lots of overhead to climb back through. So keep that in mind. So we're going to be looking at resistance first, right there to 0.4989. So roughly the 0.50 psychological. As for the Doge, RSI did not get into the oversold. So we do have a bounce here. Going to look for some lower highs to be set in the upcoming hours, I should say. Let's move on to LTC USD Litecoin. And looks like we are still playing within the support and resistance that we had set yesterday morning. So support still holding 340, I should say, 0.29, and resistance 356.97. And I'm doing this live, folks, so bear with me. Here we go, LINK USD. Live without a parachute. Support 47.562, and resistance level is going to be the 49.60. RSI looks in good shape, and we do have the 12, the 26, and 100-day all in good configuration, as we call it, for upside potential. Let's move on to XLM USD. Did we get that stop triggered? Yes, we did. So we triggered out of here, right down there on that previous low. But right now we're going to look at support to hold at the 0.58566 and resistance at the 0.606841. I will show you with that. You probably wondering what I'm doing with these stop losses here. Just charting them. What I can do is I can set my stop loss here in TradingView, right click, add an alert, and I can tell that alert to say, okay, I'm going to do all these things. So I can have it notify. I do have the TradingView app on my phone. I can have it show a pop-up here on the chart and have it send an email, even a web hook. So basically I have it sent over to my Discord channel, and which Discord sends me a notification to my phone. So multiple ways of creating alerts here, and you have more actions, less actions. And all I have to do is hit create. Now when the price crosses above or below that line, it will trigger that stop loss or whatever the behavior I told it to. Basically, this would say on the cross. So once it crosses through that line, I'll get a notification in multiple areas. That way I can use the trading platform that I've chosen to sell. Or you can match your stop loss up with your trading platform to be the same number. Moving on to Vechain, VET, USD. Stopped out as well. Not a problem. We're going to look down at support for Vechain, 0.20741. And resistance right there at the 0.2232. RSI dead center, and watching this 12-day moving average is trending downward. So it looks like we are going to get across the 12. Will cross the 26, which should typically means more downside potential. So keeping that in mind for Vechain. Moving on to FIL USD. Stopped out while I was asleep. And looking down at support all the way. Well, here we go. We got this previous low here. So we're going to look at 141.877. And then resistance on the climb back up is going to be 146.98. We are heading into the oversold territory in RSI. As you can see over here, once it got oversold, you had a really good indicator for a bounce. That momentum indicator. So we'll move on to Storj, STORJ Stopped out. So got a bunch of trades to set up here, so I'll get that for you. Have that ready for in the morning, the Crypto Morning Show. While I'm setting this up, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. That will notify you every live stream. And nice bounce off this 26-day moving average. So we're looking at support 2.0942 and resistance up there at the 2.23816. Actually, I got the support on that. There's your support level. Pardon me, 2.1448. Moving on to IOTA, Internet of Things. IOTA, did we get through that stop? Yes, we did. And then support is going to be right up here, 2.170, and resistance 2.249. And moving on to comp COMP USD. Looking for this 12 to cross over the 26. So comp is setting up for a bounce. We're going to look for support right there. We had a previous low there. So got to get through these moving averages. So got a little bit of work to do. So 731.908 and resistance on the climb back through. First will be 770.99. Volume is kind of trailing off, so keep an eye on those indicators as we move on. Still going to leave this stop but just beneath that 100-day moving average. Moving on to BAT USD. BAT, nice run up. Was that an all-time high? I cannot tell. Let's see. Yes, it was. All right. So we have that all-time high in range up there on that pivot at the 1.5933. And we have support sitting down at the 1.32. And resistance going to be on the climb back through right there. So tight range at 1.3961. Moving on to Ethereum Classic. Did not trigger the stop. Holding on to 108.929 will be your support. And resistance, looks like we had a double top there. 124.26 and seeing our all-time high up at the 175 round psychological number. Let's have a look at MANA, M-A-N-A, USDC. Got the stop, but nice bounce off this 100-day. I can't say it enough is why I use the 100-day, the 26, and the 12 for crypto. It's just very, very consistent. So nice bounce. So this should be a decent bounce off that 100-day moving average. And first going to have resistance at the 1.418. And if I didn't mention it because I was talking too much, support is going to be 1.348. And stop loss just beneath these candles right there. Let's move on to ZIL USD. Support 0.216 and resistance. As you can see, this 26-day moving average is providing resistance, so watch out for that. We're about to get the 12 cross over the 26, so there may be some more. We may have to come down here and retest below that support. So resistance 0.2262, support 0.2162, stop loss with a timer on it just beneath those lows. Brazil, ZIL, USD. Let's move on to NU, USD. Support holding up at the 0.45473. And resistance going to be right there at the 0.465. So tight range as we try. We have all these converging moving averages to watch out for above us. So we're going to need some volume to come through to get us through there. So moving on to NMR USD. Got through the stop loss. That was a high, boys. I don't know why. Sorry about that. So looking at support, let's see if we can find, yeah, we'll get that stop loss out of the way. That's going to be our support level. Right there, 63.8612, and resistance climbing back through, going to be the 66.577. Looking on to the graph token GRT, blew out the stop loss. That's okay because we can buy cheaper now. Let's see, looks like, yeah, we're going to hold that bounce right on this 100-day moving average. So we got a good bounce attempt there, second attempt to get through. And looking at resistance up at the 1.568 and support 1.513. Moving on to UNI USD. Trigger to stop. That happened. Let's find you a support level to lean on to. Here we go. There's their support. At the 37.749, resistance going to be first getting through this 100-day moving average. And you can see here we struggle to get above this 12-day. It's providing resistance. So resistance there at the 40.27. RSI is in good shape, and volume is just right at average as we move on to AAVE USD. Resistance up at the 464.502. And looks like we have support levels at the 442.186. 100-day moving average didn't come down to test that yet. And we'll just inch that stop loss just beneath that 100-day. Got to get above the 26 and the 12, which are inverted time-wise. So keep an eye on that for folks for the AAVE USD. Moving on to MKR USD. All right, so we're going to have support all the way up as we climb. We did get into the sales target. I did exit this trade. I didn't get all the way to the top up here, unfortunately, but that happens. I'm okay with that. That was the all-time high. Nope, it was not the all-time high. Let's put the all-time high in there. Is, bear with me one sec, 63.91.78, all-time high. There we go. So we can see it in our sights there. So we have resistance levels to contend with as we are underneath this 26-day moving average providing resistance. So at the moment, resistance 5366.09, support is that my support level? No, it's not. Support, looking at the 5150.848. And moving on to audio, let's look at some NFTs. Audio is still in this downtrend, so keep that in mind, folks. Didn't want to grab that. Grabbing the wrong things here. So we'll look over here and see previous lows. There it is. Looking at support to hold at the 2.05 and resistance is going to be sitting right up there, that 100-day moving average at 2.247. Let's move on to CHZ USD. Yeah, we got the stop loss did trigger. I've got some work to do before in the morning. All right, so we got support at the 0.4559 and resistance. All this previous support is going to become resistance, as you can tell. First of all, you're going to have resistance at the 0.4777 and then these moving averages up above. And volume is kind of trailing off as the RSI heads into oversold territory, so maybe we can get down there and get us a good bounce going. Moving on to Theta, THETA USD. We have support at 11.68 and resistance. You see all that up there. Triple top. We can regroup and overcome that. Us bulls can do that. We do have a good configuration here, the 12, the 26, and 100-day moving averages. It looks like we have a lot of selling up here. These big wicks indicate weak hands. People getting out of Theta. Or in and out, I should say. So support, if I didn't say it, 11.687, resistance 12.19672. Almost done here. We're going to get into ENJB USD. This particular one on Binance Coin. For us folks here in the US, some of these coins are really hard to get a hold of. And there's some ways to do that, and I'm going to make a video on that, but I have to be careful. Looking at support, 2.3729, and resistance at the 2.453 for ENJ. Moving on to ONE, Harmony 1. Still trending down, can't seem to get any momentum. And looking at this big bounce here, that would be nice. So looking down here, it's right on the support level at the the 0.1227 and resistance at the 0.1274. So very tight range, not much wiggle room to trade in there. All right, let's look at Bitcoin dominance. I would imagine it is up as a lot of folks sold their DogeCoin for BTC. So that seems to be the case. So BTC.D, which is an indicator here in TradingView, or a ticker, I should say, that represents the percentage of Bitcoin as related to the total crypto market cap. And that is 45.80%. So we are up about 0.11%, 0.11. Slightly up, got all the way up to 46 earlier on when the Doge started to sell off. And total crypto market cap, slightly down. And we are at $2,339 billion USD. Well, folks, that does it for me for today. I appreciate you watching the videos. We've got hundreds of them out now. And I thank you for those that are commenting and liking and subscribing, because that helps the YouTube algorithm know that people are watching and appreciating this content. And when you like, subscribe, those things, it pushes out to other YouTube users so they can choose to or not choose to watch. So that does it for me. Have a great day out there. Enjoy your Mother's Day. And we'll see you in the morning on the Crypto Morning Show.